U.S. officials say the embassy in Havana will also stop processing visas in Cuba indefinitely. It comes after reports that several staff have been targeted by sonic attacks, which have caused health problems. In a new travel warning to be issued Friday, the U.S. will say some of the attacks happened in Cuban hotels, and American tourists could be exposed if they travel to Cuba. Well, let's get more on this with Giles Gibson, who is in Washington, D.C. So what are media reports saying about just how large and how significant this staff pullout is, Giles?
Well, reports and information about this are still very much coming in as we speak, really. Just in the last couple of minutes, a senior State Department official has been quoted as saying that more than half of the embassy footprint in Cuba will be reduced. That, of course, follows, as you were saying, media reports that have been coming in the last few hours saying that families and non-essential personnel of the U.S. Embassy in Havana will be pulled out immediately, and we are expecting some sort of an announcement from the State Department and the U.S. government at some point on Friday local time. This also follows, of course, these reports really that diplomats both from Canada as well as the United States have been reporting these mysterious symptoms over the last few years. They've been reporting nausea, headaches, loss of hearing, and that's been put down, some speculation has put that down to some sort of a sonic attack aimed at these diplomats, although the Cuban government has repeatedly denied that it's behind any sort of a sonic attack. So we're still waiting for firm confirmation from the State Department that this pullout is going ahead. But as I say, several media outlets here in the United States are now reporting that the embassy staff footprint of the U.S. Embassy in Havana will be cut pretty drastically in the wake of these mysterious symptoms and attacks.
Yeah, and we know that under the last administration, it was hoped that ties between the US and Cuba would improve. They've been much more delicate under President Trump. So how is this going to affect relations going forward?
Well, of course, the only reason that these US diplomats are in Cuba right now is because Barack Obama really pushed forward a policy of trying to thaw the pretty frosty relations that we've seen between the US and Cuba really since John F. Kennedy and the Cuban Missile Crisis back in the 1960s. Barack Obama reopened the US Embassy in Havana in 2015. He was then the first US president to visit the island in decades back in 2016. But then since Donald Trump has taken over as US president, we've really seen some of those policies, some of those Obama-era policies really being rolled back, and a bit more of a sort of tightening of the relationship between the United States and Cuba, although President Trump has said in the past that he doesn't have any plans to close the embassy. But this latest withdrawal of staff, if these reports are accurate, and we should hopefully get some sort of confirmation in the next few hours here in Washington, D.C. If these reports are true, then this could be certainly a return to some of the frostier times that we've seen between the United States and Cuba down the years.